um, the title of this video basically explains what I'm going to be talking about today. The first thing I'm going to start with is the whole tampons versus pads controversy that I actually didn't even know existed until recently, but apparently a lot of females are wondering which is better to wear, pads or tampons, whether it's because of absorbency or health questions or comfortability, whatever. There's a lot of controversy and a lot of questions, and so I just wanted to give my opinion and my knowledge on the subject and tell you guys what I do and what I wear, and then we will get to what I hate about my period. So the first thing is, personally, I wear pads. I wear them probably 98% of my period, and I wear tampons occasionally. Mostly I will wear a tampon if I'm going out somewhere. Say I'm going out for the day or whatever, I'll wear a tampon. But if I'm staying in, which is most of the time, I will wear pads, of course. I don't sleep in tampons. Now this is only probably my fourth, probably only my third period that I've been wearing mostly pads. Before, about 3 months ago, I was only wearing tampons, probably for the past 5 years. I was only wearing tampons. I hated pads. I hated the thought of pads. I loved the freedom of not having to worry about it leaking or any of that stuff. But then I was constantly, I mean, ever since I can remember, as far as when I came into puberty, I was always getting yeast infections and UTIs constantly. I mean, back to back to back. I couldn't keep them away, and they're miserable. If you've never had one, avoid anything that could cause one because they are miserable. So basically, I don't know why I even came across it. I'm into organics, into organic food. That's what I eat. Organic everything, cleaners, shampoos, all that. So I started to research organic tampons because I had noticed that, I know this is kind of get graphic, but it's okay. Because if you clicked on this video, you probably realize it's going to be a little graphic. So, anyways, I was noticing that towards the end of my period, when there wasn't as much blood, it was kind of harder to remove the tampon, and I would notice it starting to tear, and obviously I knew where the rest of the tampon was. Not a lot, but still I did notice the ripping, and I could tell that pieces of the tampon were missing, just to leave it at that. So I researched, the dangers of that, and I started looking into organic because I do know that they bleach the tampons, and there are chemicals within the tampon that do irritate some females. And I actually came across blogs of mothers that, especially one who actually lost her daughter to toxic shock syndrome, which, if you don't know what that is, basically, when it comes, it can be caused from a bunch of different things, but when it comes to tampons, it is when it holds the blood in your body too long, and at a certain point, blood releases chemicals that are toxic to your body. So if you leave the tampon in there, it holds the blood in, and it becomes toxic, and it will poison your body, and it is deadly. And this girl changed her tampon regularly every 3 to 4 hours. Never left it in because they do say that toxic shock syndrome is mostly caused from tampons left in 8 hours or more, but that's not always the case, as of this girl. And she did not make it. And um, so yeah, it is dangerous. Tampons, there are risks, and that is basically the biggest risk. But also the fibers do; those fibers are actually not just cotton. It is not 100% cotton. Tampons are never 100% cotton unless it says so on the box. They have fibers of plastic and other things in them, and when those fibers break off, as they did with me, that can actually tear your vaginal canal and cut it and make it very uncomfortable, and that makes you susceptible to infections and burning and all that kind of stuff. That's just, nobody wants that, you know. So yeah, so then I started looking to organic tampons, and they're expensive. Yeah. So I go through them a lot, but we'll get to that. So I was like, I looked it up, and I found out that the safest way is actually to wear pads, and they say that even if you mostly want to wear tampons, you should be alternating tampon to pad, you know, one after the other. When your tampon's full, you need to change to a pad, back and forth. And the reason they say that is to cancel out the toxic shock syndrome, and also it's just not the healthiest option to have that old blood be plugged up in your body. It needs to constantly flow out. That's what it was made to do. So to have them in 24/7 and to sleep in them, bad idea. You never want to risk that. And so I do wear the overnight pads, which are like, seriously, like that long. Yeah, but they're worth it because again, safe and healthy, and that's the most important thing. So you know, and I've come to learn that they're really not that uncomfortable. You can find comfortable pads, and they're really not in the way of much things unless you wear extremely tight clothes that are going to reveal every little crease and crack. Then you might have a problem, but I don't. So yeah, that is my choice, and I've given you my reasons why. It's basically health is the reason, because it's healthy and it's safe, and I just try to do everything that's most healthy for my body that I can, because I want to take care of it, and you should too. So yeah, and I think that's it, and if I come up with anything else, I'll just kind of throw it out there. Now I'm going to move on to what I hate about my period, which is kind of funny because I don't love anything about my period. I don't even like anything. It is miserable. So basically my period is like this. First of all, from start to finish, which means from the time I get a little bit of blood to completely no blood at all, 100% gone, it's around 8 to 9 days. So it's a very long one. First of all, I get extremely bad cramps. I mean extremely bad, to the point where sometimes I will take 4 200 milligram ibuprofen, so that is 800 milligrams, and it doesn't do a thing at all. No pain is gone. Sometimes I have to take a hot shower, and that still doesn't work. Heating pads make my cramps worse. Sometimes a cold water bottle will relieve it, but they are intense. They're to the point where I'm curled up, crying, screaming. Sometimes I will throw a fit about my cramps because they are that bad. They are a lot of pain, as I said. So that is definitely, and that lasts about 3 days out of the 8 or 9. And I bleed very heavily when it comes to my flow. I probably, when I was in tampons, let's just say, I was going through them, the super, by the way, the biggest absorbency ones, I was going through them about every hour, 1 hour, all day. And yeah, I was just really it's really frustrating, and that's another reason that I like wearing pads is because I have to worry about my tampon leaking through onto my panty liner, and then it's on my underwear and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. But other than that, I also get my hips and my hip joints are in a lot of pain, and it's like from my waist down, my hip joints, my hips, my butt, my thighs, my knees, my calves, and my feet. From my hips all the way down is in a lot of pain all throughout my period, but mostly in the first couple days. And it is right now, even though I'm on like day 7 or 8. It's weird, but it's a lot of pain. It feels like basically like you've been on your feet, like running and walking for, I don't know, like 3 days straight. That's how bad it feels. Just aching and cramping in my hips and my legs and all that, all the way down. I can have cramps at the time. I can not have cramps, and the pain will still be there in my legs and all that. It's really weird, and I actually don't know if anybody else has had that. I haven't really researched it, but yeah. So I was wondering if any of you have ever had those leg pains. Like I said, it's legs, butt, hips, the joints, the muscles, my knees, my calves, and my feet that hurt really bad, achy, basically really achy and sore. Let me know, because I'm curious, and I want to know how many other people that happens to, and if you have any advice to relieve that kind of pain other than ibuprofen, because that's all I can take, and I do like to stay away from pain medication when I can. I like to try natural things. So if you have any remedies, let me know. You can message me or comment on this. I don't care. And I always know those girls that have they're like, oh, my period's like 3 days and I don't get cramps, and I'm like, are you kidding me? 3 days? And I don't know. I don't know. So I want to know, is your period 3 days? Do any of you actually have a period that lasts 2, 3 days, 1 day? If you're not on birth control or anything like that, because I know that affects it. But if on your own, with no birth control, no nothing, if your period is 3 days, your body is awesome, because that is awesome. But yeah, so just like I said, if you have basically any comments, questions, whatever, about periods, about what I've said, about tampons, pads, as for pads, what I wear personally is I get the, oh Lord, what do I get? I always use the brand Always. That's the only brand I use, and I do get the super absorbency, and it's super and it's long, so it has those 2 words on it, and it is in a green wrapper, a lime green wrapper, and that's the only one I use during the day. And then at night I wear their overnight pad, which is purple. It's in a purple wrapper, and it's really long and it's winged. I also, yeah, both of the pads that I wear are winged, which means they have the little things that fold around the bottom of your underwear it helps with leaking, so that it doesn't leak on the side of your underwear. So that's what I wear, and that is also in super, which is probably the only one they have for overnight, I'm guessing. I don't know. And that actually, it does go from the very top front of your underwear to the very back top of your underwear, so it completely covers the whole entire thing, and it even goes out in the back really wide, like that wide, so that it covers everything, because if you're laying on your side or whatever, it tries to catch everything. Yeah, so and for tampons, when I do use the tampons, I do use Tampax Pearl Super, or yeah, just that. And when my period gets really, really light, I will use the best panty liners ever for me are either the Always in the little blue wrapper, super super thin ones, but they're the second thinnest. And but mostly I use the brand Carefree in panty liners, and it is called regular strength or regular thickness. That's the name on it. It says regular, and I use the ones called Body Shape, which means they're shaped like this. Well, that was horrible. It's kind of like that, like a peanut. It's kind of shaped like a peanut. Yeah, basically to fit your underwear. So, I think that is everything, and I know this video is really long.